people, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rachel and you're joining me for episode 15 of the Adventures of Yarnia. This is my crochet and knitting podcast known as the Planners Who Hook podcast, and because my other main hobby and interest and indeed business is of course planning and stickerating. But today we're going to be taking a look at some of the things that I've been working on. I have some finished things, oh my goodness me. I do have some incoming things that have made me very happy indeed. And we're going to have a chat about kind of my upcoming plans for things that I'm going to make as well. So grab yourself a brew. I am on my first cup of caffeinated coffee of the day because it's actually 8:02 on Sunday the 28th of February this morning. So I was up really early, about 5, so I made a decaf coffee then because I was like, no body, you cannot be getting used to having a kick of caffeine at that time. So anyway, grab yourself a brew and grab your projects, whatever it is you're working on. In fact, whatever you are working on, leave a comment down below and let us know, because it's always lovely to have ideas and to find interesting things to look at as well on Ravelry and Instagram. Okay, so we're going to start with my main finished project, which is or are these socks. Oh, these are absolutely gorgeous. I'm so pleased with how these came out. I spoke last time on the podcast about my plans for my February Rainbow Chronicles sock along socks. I say that 5 times fast. And I had a mini skein set from Giddy Yarns, which I had bought as part of the Flower Power Fund last year, and I wanted to use that and kind of mix and match a couple of patterns because Kay over at the Bakery Bears, sorry I'm just spotting the odd cat hair on here, oh dear, what is it about cats and yarn? They just go together, don't they? Anyway, so Kay over at the Bakery Bears was releasing her Amore sampler sock pattern, which came out on Valentine's Day for purchase, but patrons, of whom I am one, got the pattern as a kind of a knit along. Ah, there we go, now you can see some of the stitch patterns better. As a knit along, oh, in the run up to Valentine's Day as Valenvent, which is just a lovely, lovely word, I think. So each little section of the sock has a different stitch pattern, and as there's 2 socks, there's actually 10 different stitch patterns on here. And what's really nice is they're not obviously exactly the same, but they have the kind of same idea. So let's see if I can get that there we go. So you can see like that top one of the section of each sock, they're very similar kind of idea of eyelet lace with sort of the V effect. I've no idea if there's a technical term for that, who knows. And yeah, so there's actually 10 different lace patterns within the sock pattern, which I think is brilliant because I could use, that's like 10 different pairs of socks that I could now make and have the lace written out and charted for as well, which is just lovely. And then my other idea came from the Colour Palette Socks, which is a pattern by Laura Moorats, or Moorats, not sure, I'll leave a name down below so you can look it up on Ravelry. And her socks have these bands of white to divide the different sections. Now I think on hers there is some, the bands of white have some, I think there's like an eyelet pattern in them, and I think they have more sections as well. So it was a bit of a, you know, it's a bit of a mashup of the 2 patterns really. But I'm really pleased with how they've come out. I will be honest, I would not have chosen these yarns to knit a lace sock in if it hadn't been for the fact that they fit with February Rainbow Chronicles, which was to be red, or mainly red, and yes, there's quite a bit of green in them, but they're roses, and roses are red and belong in February. Because some of the lace does get a little bit obscured by the yarn being so variegated, and it is, oh, it's so beautiful. So they were very much a process knit, I think, for this one. I loved the process of knitting all the different lace stitches and things. So here you can see on like this section, that lace pattern, which is like a zigzag, is a little bit lost in the variegated yarn. But then on these sections, I think you can see the lace quite well. You'll probably spot my mistakes as well, because there are a few. And yeah, I mean, they were lovely. I did the first sock in a week, so I did keep up with the knit along, and then the second sock took me 2.5 weeks. Story of my life. Even though you know, there was no real second sock syndrome, because it was new, it was brand new socks and things, new patterns, sorry, each time. The skein of the contrast here is actually an Opal sock yarn, and it's just an undyed, which I bought from Wool Warehouse a while ago, when I was thinking, oh, am I going to play at dyeing yarn? And then I didn't, because yeah, no, I just didn't get around to it. But I've just used it for the contrast on this, and I tell you what, it's such a sticky yarn. It was so funny going from the merino nylon to the Opal yarn, because it was just such a different knitting experience. But what it does have is beautiful stitch definition, as you can see on my heel, which is a slip stitch heel flap. And come on, let's just try and get this in. Oh, camera, come on, focus, focus. There we go. So yeah, so that is a slip stitch heel, and I absolutely love that. I just love the effect of it. It looks so pretty, and it's squishy and comfy. And then Kay has her little technique for picking up extra stitches on the corners of the gusset, which gives such a neat finish. And I mean, honestly, I have to say, this just makes me so happy in how neat a finish you do get with that, which is just brilliant. The toe is, ooh, it's an umbrella toe. It's Kay's pattern again there, and 2x2 rib at the top. So that's what I did with them. Really chuffed with them. The pattern is, as I say, available for sale on Ravelry, and I'm not sure if she's got patterns anywhere else for sale. You'd have to see. But it does have, obviously, all of the different lace patterns are charted and written out. You've got your instructions for heel flap and gusset, you've got your umbrella toe, and yeah, it's just brilliant. It is only a one size pattern because of the lace having to all fit, so it's just a 64 stitch pattern, but you could adjust it, I suppose, couldn't you, by changing your needle size, or indeed knitting it in a heavier weight yarn or something, I suppose, if you wanted to do a, would that give you a bigger or smaller size? A different size. So those are my February socks, which I am absolutely chuffed to bits with that idea worked. Now, also in my finished projects section, I am going to include my corner to corner crochet blanket. It's another Rainbow Chronicles project, and I'm including it because I have finished the February section. So let us have a little look. So, come on, don't drop the yarn, Rach. Right, so this is getting quite big now. So this is a corner to corner crochet blanket. It's the first corner to corner I've ever done, and it's very exciting this month because I've turned the corner. So I've now started the long straight across the top, because it's going to be rectangular, where you have a decrease on one side and keep increasing on the other. So let me find where it goes to. Okay, I've put it here. So that stitch marker is on the first stripe of the March colours, which is here. And so if we go back 10 stripes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm so professional. I should have totally put another stitch marker in, shouldn't I? So it's between my fingers here, so from this light pinky stripe up to this one here. That was the February colour palette from Lay Family Yarn, and she's doing one every single month, and it's moving through the rainbow, and it's just going to be awesome, this blanket, by the time it's finished. I am really hoping that I've put my corner in the right place. I have been doing a lot of maths to try and work out how big it's going to be and where I want it and things. I think I've got it right. I'll be able to tell you around, probably early August. Because I reckon that I don't need, that my other corner is going to sit in the middle of October, but I think by the time we get to August I'll be able to tell if we're going to have a very long skinny blanket that's out of proportion, or and therefore needs to end a little earlier, or if I've got it right. So it's quite a scary thing, that really, isn't it? So as I say, I am now working through the March colours. You can see there I have done already, I think, what, 5, 6, 7 stripes? I'm not sure. Oh, how many have I done? 2, 4, 6, 7. 7 stripes, there we go. And I've literally just started the 8th colour there. And then I have my little skein wound up there ready. And this is just such a joy. I've been really, really enjoying this project so much. It's got to the stage, you see, yeah, why I turned the corner. Yes, that's what I need to tell you about. I decided to turn the corner partly because I thought it was in the right place, which is always a, reasonable reason to do it, isn't it? But also because I'd reached the point where I was getting a full 2 rows, so like 1 stripe is 2 rows of 1 mini skein plus a little bit extra. And I didn't want to keep increasing and find that I was starting to have some of the colours where I could only get nearly 2 rows out of, because I thought, no, that'll annoy me more than potentially making a shorter blanket. I was asking Kelly, because the rainbow colours basically kind of run out in September, I think. That's the point where we hit purple. Yes, it must be. But she's then going to she's going to carry on with the remaining 3 months, and they're going to go through like lilacs and neutrals, I think, and greys, which will be really pretty. But I'm also not too worried if I can't fit them into my blanket, because as long as I've got the main rainbow, I'm happy. There we go. Alright, so that is, those are my 2 projects that I'm kind of calling finished or completed, and now we're coming into what I've got in progress. So, confession time. Do you remember last time I showed you my kitten mittens? Which are in here, which are being made from the, put the sock ruler back, from the Cat Knits book, which are just absolutely gorgeous and I love, and I knit one pretty much in a day, and I showed you it last time, and it just needed another couple of rounds of ribbing and then casting off, and then it was going to be done. Yeah, so and I was saying, hopefully I'll be able to finish the other one by the time I podcast next, in a month's time, which is 4 weeks, 28 days. It's quite a long period of time, that, isn't it? Yeah, well, I cast it off. I haven't sewn any ends in, and I haven't cast the second one on yet either. Oh dear. But let me show you this, because if I can get my fingers around the ends, oh dear, chipping my nail polish that I've just done, that's annoying, never mind. Then I can show you how it's come out. Oh, I've got ends in between my fingers, that feels horrid, but it will do. So I wanted a new pair of fingerless mittens, fingerless gloves. I don't know, is that a mitten or a glove? It's a fingerless mitten, isn't it? Because if it was a fingerless glove, it would have like little half fingers without the end of the fingers. I know what I mean, hopefully you do too. Yeah, So it's a fingerless mitten. It's a little bit loose on the wrist, but that's fine because I need to sew my end there and weave in my end, and so that will tighten it up a little bit. I have a feeling that I may not have gone down to the smaller needle size either for the rib. Oops. Anyway, here we go. So these are the Kitten Mittens, and you can see that they've got the cat's pattern done in colour work, and oh, I love it so much. It was so much fun to knit, and actually now I'm just like, yeah, let's get this cast on today and get it done because I could. Part of the reason why I kind of stopped being too worried about getting my other one done is because I've not actually been able to go out for a walk for the past, what are we on? Day 11, I'm not sure, because I'm currently having to isolate at home before having gallbladder surgery next week. Heap. So suddenly my need for a warmer pair of mittens kind of had disappeared, which is probably why I lost a little bit of interest. But I am going to make the other one. They are super, super snuggly warm. Not only is it DK weight yarn, because it's the colour work, of course, you've got the double layer pretty much all the time. I'm going to show you my floats because apparently that's a thing that you do when you do colour work. You can see some of those. So I did try to catch some of them. It's pretty neat, and I'm quite happy actually with how that has come out. I'm going to block them. I do have some mitten blockers, some kitten mitten blockers. So yeah, I'm going to get the second one cast on today, I think. That's today's goal. As well as filming this and finishing sewing 35 planner pouches for the Spring Experience boxes. Oh, and I need to also film a March planner setup. But yeah, I've got time to cast on a knit edition.
I didn't catch that. Could you try?
Did you not, Siri? Oh dear, he didn't catch that. But yeah, I've got time to cast on another kitten mitten. Totally haven't. Okay, so next work in progress. I'm going to grab, oh, what should we grab? Should we do socks, blankets? Oh, let's do socks. Okay, this is living in a little planner pouch which I got from Coco Daisy, who I am on their design team. They're a planner company. This was from last year's April kit, so sadly not available to purchase now because they are a subscription based company. And you can see it's got my Rainbow Sock Chronicles Cal enamel pin on as well, which I bought from Jules at So Sweet Violet, who is the co-host of the Rainbow Sock Chronicles knit along with Kelly at Lay Family Yarn. So in here I have got the most rainbowiest yarn I have ever had. And bear in mind, I have knit the Fab Funky Fibres rainbow, which is just beautiful. But yes, this is the yarn from the Yarn Badger, which is just a cracking name. And it's in double rainbow. And those of you who may have this and know what it's like are going to be like, oh yeah, it's good. Let me show you what I have done so far. Oh! Is that not just the most amazing rainbow sock, half finished sock that you ever did see? Honestly, this yarn is just amazingly gorgeous. It is showing up a little bit brighter on camera at the moment, but honestly, it really is that good. Let me bring back here. There you go. You can get an idea now. So it's called Double Rainbow because you've got every colour of the rainbow with then like a darker shade as well after it. And I just, oh, it's just amazing. It is so lovely to knit with as well. The yarn base is, oh, it'd be a 75-25. So 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's a nice smooth yarn, but it has got a bit of plumpness to it, which I probably can't really show you there. And I have put in a little stitch pattern just on one side. Well, actually I've not decided if it's going to be on the front or the side of the sock yet. I'll decide that when I put the heel in. And that little pattern, little stitch pattern, is taken from the Simple Skip Socks. Oh, come on camera, let's look. The yarn is more interesting than my face, we know this. There we go. So you can see you've got, it's almost like a little plaited effect. It's really, really pretty. And yeah, it's taken from the Simple Skip Socks, which is a pattern by Adrienne Ku, and it's actually a free pattern on Ravelry. And on her pattern she uses this all the way around the sock. Now, I wanted something that was going to go fairly quick. And I also really like socks where you've just got something down the side or just down the front. So I decided just to put it in once. So it's framed by a couple of pearl stitches, and then you have your little pattern as well. Let me show you the yarn cakes though, because oh my days, so fun. Look at the colours. And it came in two 50-gram skeins. Oh, this one's even more satisfying to look at, which is just brilliant because obviously then you just wind them up, and as long as you cast on in the same place, then you're fine. I had to wind a little bit off one because I wanted, well, basically I wanted to start at purple. So, and I've just left my tail so that I've got the, you probably can't see, but I've got the colour change there, so that when I cast on the second one I can double check that I am actually in the right place. But yes, those are my most rainbowiest rainbow socks ever. And my little stitch marker there is from Coru Clay Studio. And it's actually a gift from my friend Katie. My birthday, I think it was birthday a while ago, which is a little rainbow tin with rainbow stitch markers in. So I just threw that in there as well because, yeah, it's pretty. Ah, makes me very, very happy. I was knitting away on that last night whilst we were watching a film, and yeah, the film was rubbish, to much my mind, but it was one of the Avengers ones. No, a Marvel one, sorry. Is that Avengers? I don't know. Okay, next little project then. We've got two more to have a look at, and they're both blankets. I'm going to show you first of all the Harry Potter Blanket Club from Norah George, how far I've got with my November blanket square. So the November mini skeins, which I would have shown you previously, they are based on the 3 broomsticks. That's the inspiration for the colourways. So these are going to be part of my mitered square blanket, and I've been doing 3x3 squares, so 9 in total, and then bordering it with a crochet edge. So far for November square I've done 3 of the squares and picked up and just started on the next one. Now you're going to ask me what the colourways are, aren't you? And I can't remember what they're called. I cannot remember. And I've left my little knitting journal in the other room, so I can't even go and grab it from there. Never mind. Never mind. Let's just admire the yarn instead, because that's what we're all here for, really, isn't it? How pretty is that? I love how that one's knit up. It's absolutely gorgeous. And so I have the one that I'm working on, and then the other colour that has to go in is this one. I think this is Fire Whiskey. Pretty certain I'm right about that. And I have a feeling, I think that one might be Madame Rose Myrta. Rosmerta, not sure. I love it anyway because it's so gorgeous. That is my November square, and yes, it's the end of February and I'm still in November because, well, I'm not exactly a monogamous crafter, am I? My other thing that's been getting some love this month is my Scrappy Granny Square. No, Scrappy Granny Stripe blanket. Okay, let me just sort this out because I've literally just connected a new skein, so I need to just sort it a little bit. Okay, I've not shown this for at least a couple of months on the podcast, and I'm just wondering, where was I last time? I have a feeling that last time I showed it I was somewhere down here, but this is made using lots of leftover sock yarn. Well, that's how it started, and then it turned into, let's buy mini skeins to put into my blanket, because that's what we do. I can't show you anymore because I can't reach any higher. Let me see if I can get it all in that way. There we go. So it's quite a decent size now. When I'm sat down, it is, yeah, I would say, I think I'm about 2/3 of the way there to the length that I want it to be, because I'm just aiming for it to be more of a, it's a lap blanket really. Oh, I just love it so much. All the colours, they're just so beautiful. So this is a real mixture and hodgepodge of different yarn dyers, different mini skeins, different leftovers. And what I've been doing is every 7 stripes I add in a solid band of trebles using Debbie Bliss Cashmerino, and that is because I just like the effect of just breaking it up a little bit. I think visually it's just easier to kind of take in one section at a time rather than all of the colours all at once. So I'm really pleased with how that's coming together. I think this section down here might be my favourite one, which is probably why I keep showing it you. But I really love that section too, this one here. And actually this one's shaping up quite nicely. Just love it all. So I'm using a 3.5mm hook for the sock yarns, and I go down to a 3mm hook on the solid sections because that is actually a sport weight yarn, so otherwise we'd just get a bit of a wavy edge, I think. I don't think it'd be quite right. I have got a bag in here filled with little mini skeins, ready for just pulling out the next colour. Look at it, that's so pretty. So yes, I'm quite excited to put the next colours in. I keep wanting to put that one in, but so far when my hand's gone in, it hasn't picked it out. I think that's a Pixie Yarns mini. So yeah, and then that is the Debbie Bliss, the Cashmerino, which is so soft and squiggly. In fact, actually I think it's baby Cashmerino, isn't it? So it would be, because it's a baby yarn. Oh, now I want to work on that this afternoon. I keep saying this afternoon that I'm going to work on stuff like I've actually got time to do it. Dear me. Okay, let's put you to one side. As beautiful as you are. Oh my days, the purple. The purple. Look at the purple. Oh, it's so pretty. Love, love, love. So in terms of my upcoming plans and some of my incoming goodies, I mentioned, of course, I've got the, sorry for the rustling, the April colour palette from Late Family Yarns to go in my rainbow blanket. So you can see that we're going to be picking up here and moving through to this kind of yellowy green here, because then May is going to be greens. So I need to get that wound up into a cake. I really like cake. Sorry, that was an aside. So I need to get that wound up into a cake ready to go. And then for my March socks, I am using some, it's another Low Family Yarns yarn actually, and this is, let me put that little bit of leftover away. This is a gorgeous colourway called Pheasants Make Jeff Jump. I think Jeff is her dog. And so you've got these kind of, let's see if I can get it, orangey, peachy, goldy kind of shades. It's definitely, it is a tonal yarn, this one, and that kind of makes me think that I could, well, I know that I can definitely put in a pattern to these socks and know that it will show up. And the reason I know it will definitely show up is that I've already knit a pair of socks out of this yarn. It's Seagull O'Clock socks, which I probably showed before, I'm not sure. And they came out too small for me because I couldn't be bothered to knit the extra ½ an inch on the foot that I needed. And I was just like, oh, it'll be fine. And it wasn't fine. So eldest daughter ended up with those. And I had only got this left of the little mini skein that came with it. And so I messaged Kelly and I just said, look, I really want to make another pair, but I'm out of the mini skein. It is the most beautiful mini I've ever seen in my life. Please, could you do me another one, or do you have another one? And this was back in November, and she actually just sent me one, just as have a mini skein, which was so lovely. So I think this one though is a little paler than the original, so I'm going to use this one. And then, oh dear, I've got yarn to put into my granny blanket. It is exactly where it's going, because it'll be just about enough, I think. So I need to have a think about what I want to do for my March socks, which, given it's 1st of March tomorrow, I probably need to think, you know, pretty quickly. I definitely want something that has a little bit, it's not, I don't want to do a plain vanilla sock. But as I mentioned before, I am in for surgery on Thursday, and so a lot of March is going to be spent, or a good couple of weeks is going to be spent kind of recovering and recuperating from that. So I don't want anything that's going to be too complicated either. I think they may end up being another pair of skip socks, and I might do that, but maybe I'll put a bit more of the pattern on, I don't know. Because there is a certain thing about it, it is lovely to see a yarn just knit up in plain stockinette as well, it's just so lovely. But I want something a bit interesting. And I thought about using one of the lace patterns from the sampler socks, but I think that would then be all over lace, and I'm not sure I want that. I might do though. I was thinking about maybe where is it? There's this one here, which I really love, that kind of zigzaggy lace. Oh, come on camera. Yeah, so I might try and put that in. I need to check the pattern and see what the repeat is on it though, because yeah, I need something easy and not mindless, but not too taxing on the old brain. The other lovely thing that I got this month was a mystery box from Kelly. She had a big shop update and had some mystery boxes of mini skeins in the shop, and oh my word, when this arrived, my daughter and I had so much fun going through this, and we put it all in rainbow order, and now I picked it up this morning and it all kind of tipped out everywhere. So let me just kind of grab the top layer, as it were, and show you some of what was in here. So look at that, isn't that beautiful? So there is, I think there's 350 grams of yarn in here, and it was, you know, it was an absolute bargain, to be honest. I think it 35 maybe, about there, but there weren't very many, and yes, I did win at my game of fastest fingers first. I was there just before the update was going live. I was logged into PayPal, I was logged into my Lay Family Yarn account. I was ready. But you know, sometimes you've got to do these things, haven't you? If you want to snag a certain something. Let me just pop these other ones down. And some of them are so dinky. Look at the little dinky skeins. I think that might be a slightly underweight one by the feel of it. Is it disturbing that I can now tell if something's under or overweight? Oh dear. Right, here we go. Here's the top layer with the blues and the purples. Oh, just so beautiful. I really, really love this turquoisey blue with the splashes of pink and purple in it. That is just gorgeous. My daughter's favourite one was this, which is like all different. It's like sweeties. Makes me think of Dolly mixtures. So those are going to, again, some will find their way into my Granny Stripe blanket, although I tend to use more speckled and variegated yarns in that. And others will be used for heels, toes and cuffs on socks. And yeah, just generally in any kind of little project where I just need a mini skein. I mean, oh, it's so pretty. Love them. Absolutely love it. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed the podcast, especially if it was your first time here. Maybe give us a like and a subscribe. I do post a lot of planning related content as well, and journaling, and so do check out other parts of my channel. And until next time, I hope that whatever you're making is making you happy. Leave a link down below or to let us know what you're working on, because it's always great to have more ideas than time to make them, isn't it? I think that's what it's all about. Okay, have a fabulous rest of the day, and until next time, lovely people, bye bye for now.